All right. I hope we're on. So we just finished. We finished leg day. We're gonna do some steady state cardio. Nothing too crazy. We're not gonna fly, obviously, because if not, I don't want to be at the same spot as I was a year ago. Because, funny or not, I actually did that for. I want to say for a good. What was it? Maybe like I took a lot of a lot of months on my first year of training of actual newbie gains in quotation marks. I actually didn't really focus on the training itself. I actually focused more on cardio because I used to think that if I ate more calories, right, I was gonna get fat because I used to be fat, and I know how that felt. But on the other hand, I started doing like a lot of cardio. Uh, I started doing maybe like 2 hours of cardio a day. Plus, I'm always moving. I'm always fidgeting, so that adds more to my need, my non-exercise activity thermogenesis, right? The more you move around, right, you fidget around, you go to the bathroom, you start eating, right, you're walking here, back and forth, you're cleaning, whatever. You're burning calories. I used to not really sit down. I was a anti-sitting down person. I used to be on my feet for at least 12, 14 hours. Back then, I used to have like one of those Apple Watches that tracked your steps, your everything, right? Everything. Not to sleep though, because that's another thing. That's another more expensive gadget or device for whatever reason, right? But yeah, I start my first year of training. I actually started focusing more on the cardio because in my head, I'm like, okay, I want some muscle. I wasn't pursuing to be like an actual bodybuilder. I just wanted to be super fit and never go like really fat again. I didn't want to be obese. So what I started doing was I did my weights right. Scoop the pre-workout with water, of course. I've never dry scooped in my life, and I don't want to, because what if like you choked on it and like you go to the ER, then bam, you fucking die, right? But no, I used to do my weights first, and then after that, I used to do my cardio, right? Either a bike or either the Stairmaster, right? Wait, no, the treadmill. I used to do the treadmill for who knows how long, maybe 30 to 1 hour, sometimes 45 minutes on the way up, right? Incline, like a 3 speed, 9 incline, 3 speed, right? And I got good at it. My VO2 max, no, my VO2, nah, I think it is. I got pretty good actually. Once I got more on the incline side of things, my lungs started to actually catch up, right? And I was getting pretty good because I wanted to run a marathon. But then, you started looking at social media, right? You started looking this and that, and then you get kind of motivated, right, to start lifting even harder, right? But here's the thing: I've never really did any compound lifts. I didn't really max that on my bench. I did not max that on my what else? The squats. I've never really maxed that on the deadlifts. I tried doing it, but I just didn't really like it because that was not my goal, right? I didn't want it to be really, really strong, right? Do I have the genetics? Probably if I did the right training, but I don't know. I'm more of like cardiovascular, high repetitions. That's how I train my body, right? And I think the kind of muscle fiber I have, it's twitch, the second type, right? The fast, no, slow twitch. I think that's slow. That's the second one. The first one is fast twitch, right? You're like really explosive and like you build more muscle, right? You know how not the marathon runners, the relay, relay, the short distance, dudes that they're really jacked, big legs, huge legs, muscular. That they have typically fast twitch muscle fibers, right? They got the first type. The second type is more like a slow, like a marathon runner, right? They don't get fatigued, right? I can literally like, I kid you not, I just did heavy, well, not squats, just heavy leg day, right? I just went to failure, and right now I'm doing pretty much cardio, not extensively, right? I'm not dying right now, like I'm not doing that, but I'm just doing steady state cardio while I talk to you guys, right? But that's the thing. I'm more of like cardiovascular, right? Kind of like a long. If I was able to run, I would be like a marathon runner, right? If I had the right training, of course. Now, I do tend to get really, really fat if I start eating because that's my genetics. I used to be obese. Back when I was a child, I used to live in Mexico, so my the food I was eating, my nutrition was okay. I used to have here and there cheap meals, cookies, candy, right? It's Mexico, right? There's a lot of like pastries, bread, right? Sweet bread, all that kind of stuff, right? If you're from Mexican culture, you get it, right? Most of you, or you have at least one fat family member, right? At least. If not, then you're rare. I mean, rare out of all Mexicans in Mexico, right? Or all Latin Americans, right? Whatever. But once I got here to the United States, San Diego, California, pretty much, right? My nutrition switched. It gave it a 180, and I started eating every day, right? Out, fast food. I started eating sugar drinks, Coke. I didn't know there was Diet Coke. I thought that was like bad because the parents, right, your mom or your dad started saying, "Oh no, that's bad. It's even worse." And then you start drinking the calories, which I don't like drinking calories, but I would make an exception for at least a vitamin water. It's the red one. I'm not sure what it's called. Raspberry. I think it's raspberry or cranberry. I'm not sure, but it's really good. And I know they're zero sugar, but it's so hard to find them and very expensive. They're like $3 for like the big thing. The big jug, like the medium jug, it's like I want to say probably like 160 calories for $4. So you can imagine how expensive that is and how many calories that thing has. It's like a medium jug, right? Like a medium bottle. And it's really good. I won't lie. That's the only thing I would drink. I would, especially sugar taste. Get zero sugar, and just sodas, right? Diet sodas right now. But back then, that was like not a thing. I didn't know because I was just in my own little world, right? In my own little bubble, perhaps. But yeah, dude, I grew up fat. Really, really fat. The fattest I've gotten is like at my peak, 320, 300, 320. I fluctuated around it for a really long time. It got to that one point that I went to the hospital because I think I got like not infection, but like rashes, right, on my skin because I ate something that was already past due. And so, they gave me some medication, and then they waited me, the usual when you go to the ER, they get your weight, your height, your this, what are you allergic at, the usual, the basics, right? And then this doctor came by. He was a doctor that was good, just telling me, like, oh, this happened, you just had like a bad reaction to food. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. So I've never will eat that food, which that is, of course, lamb. The lamb was caducated, no, it was past due, right? It was already going bad, and so I ate it because I was fat ass back then, right? And so I got like rashes, dude. I got like big ass all my I got food poisoning pretty much. And then after that, he was telling me that, dude, you actually need to lose some weight. And I'm like, why? I feel okay. I like how I feel, right? I can do whatever I want. Nobody bothers me, right? But wrong. Very, very wrong. He told me that, dude, if you don't, he straight up just dropped it like that. He told me, if you don't make changes right now, in the next month or in the next year or two, you will die. He just came straight at me, right? And back then, I was like a little snowflake, right? I was fat, right? Fucking sensitive as fuck, right? I didn't have that mental strength that I have now. But dude, that back then, that made me feel like wow, okay. He just straight up just said it, right? If you don't change, you're gonna die, right? And that was one of the red flags in my head, right? I'm like, okay, I mean, I should change. And then my mom is always next to me, right? She's always there for me, of course, right? Because she's a single mom. I come from a single parent household. If you guys don't see it. Whew. But then I talked to my mom, right? She started talking to me, right? She started crying. I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess I could give it a try again because trust me, dude, every fat person or everyone who was overweight at least has done so many diets, but so many diets that they fail and fail and fail. But then at the end of the day, they something fucking clicks, right? There's snaps, something switches in the head. They're like, okay, I gotta do something about it. And that was it for me. But guess what? 30 minutes after we got done with the doctor and we got off the parking lot from the ER here in San Diego. Guess what? I was like, you know what? You only live once, right? Let's go for a burger. And then, my mom didn't know what to do back then, right? She didn't have control. And I'm not gonna blame her, right? It's all, I won't blame anyone but me because I need to be accountable for myself. But back then, I didn't know what that was. I was just fucking like 15, 16. I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was just fucking chubby, playing. I was pretty much a loser, right? What you call nowadays. I was just playing video games, eating junk food, eating sugar drinks, watching porn, the usual, what kids do nowadays, right? And yeah, dude, I was like, dude, all I need is just a gallon of Arizona iced tea, some chips, some candy, some gummy worms, because that's my favorite, like gummy worms, or those Haribo gummy bears, a soda or whatever, and then that's it, bro. Just give me the controller, and then I'll play some Fortnite or whatever, right? Or some COD, but I was pretty ass at it, right? Even though I was fat, I was still ass, right? So even I was fat, wasting my time, and oh my god, bro, it's a whole story, dude. I'm a whole book. I should write a book, and my mom gave me the idea, right? That dude, you should really do a book, write a book. Kind of like, okay, I'll give it a try, right? Why not? I have all the time in the world, right? I'm 20. I know what I want to do. I want to be a business owner. I want to have so many businesses that people look at me and be like, oh shit, that's him, right? It's him. We need him right now. We need to talk to him, right? We need some advice from him. Because people see me like that, right? My friends sometimes are, well, my friends, right? I don't really talk to them that much, but they're the high school buddies, right? The high school friends, right? That text me once in a while or once in a blue moon, right? I'm a nice guy, dude. I'm a nice dude. I'm just doing my thing, right? I'm just trying to exist and survive, right? I'm trying to just keep grinding, 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 grinding. That's just me, right? But yes, sometimes I'm that one dude that asks for advice, right? They go ask for advice because I don't know. They think that I'm wise, and I'm like, no, bro, it's just experience, right? I'm like, it's just experience. I don't want to go to college, not because I have something against college. I would go to college if I really needed it, if I was gonna like do open heart surgery or something like that. But it's if I'm not gonna do that, then I don't see it. Nothing against it, but I would for like social interaction, but like that's just wasting time. You're here in the gym, bro. You go talk to some people, right? You practice here. You practice in the real world. You know, that's a whole different thing. So I was going back to the hamburger, right? We left off. We went. We went off. What's it called? We went eating for a burger, right? And then after that, a couple months came by, right? Passed by, and then I'm like, okay. It hit 11th grade, 2020, right? And you guys know what happened in 2020? Yep, the pandemic, fucking the famous virus, right? And so we got laid off on March. Most of us here in California got laid off from school in March, and then we started doing like school online, right? When it started like getting popular, back then. And so I was like, shit, like fuck, what am I gonna do, right? And so I just took a. I really did. I remember what I did, but I think I did talk to myself internally, right? That I wanted to change, right? And I remember because I was in the car with my mom, right? And I was eating like she made food, right? And so I was eating it, and then I'm like, you know what? I need to stop. Like, I need to change. And I will never forget this. I will never forget this. And if I do get my grandma on here, she will tell you in Spanish. She doesn't know how to speak English, but she will tell you that she got a text from me that exact moment that I was eating that piece of chicken with rice, sitting in the car next to my mom, right? I was texting my grandma, right? And so that's where I decided to actually take accountability for myself and switch. All of a sudden, I wanted to just fucking lose weight, right? Because several things happen. Life gets in the way. You need to change, right? You're 17, 18. You're like, I need to change it. No, I'm gonna die like that, right? Like I was, right? Really fat. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's the whole different story, but I will go more in detail next time on that story. On why I took the switch, right? Why I wanted to change, because it wasn't just only for my health, right? Back then, when I was obese, I had like heart issues, fatty liver, and I'm not scared, but I'm concerned if I do wanted to take bodybuilding to the next step. You know what that requires, right? That requires you to, to poke yourself with some, substances that are not really good for your body, right? Because it gives you faster muscle growth, pretty much, right? And there are risks to it. And so the risk I would probably have to be careful with is probably my heart, my liver, and probably my high blood pressure. And I know because I've done my research as well. I can't really do and start fucking doing the needle thing, right? Can I start with something else like the famous SARM probably? Maybe I could probably start with the MK, right? Because my sleep is I will have to be honest, my sleep is pretty bad. My sleep is really really bad. I don't sleep like 8 hours plus, because I'm on that grind, bro. I'm like, dude, okay, I really don't like wasting time. Right now, it feels like it's wasting time, but I'm just moving, little by little, doing some cardio here and there, looking jacked in the picture right here, talking to you guys, some content, But dude, I really don't like wasting my time. So people tell me, what do you do for fun? I'm like, well, you, okay, listen. I'm a very boring person. Like IRL, I'm a very boring person. If I don't know you and I'm getting to know you, you're probably gonna be like, dude, this guy is so boring. Like, what is he talking about on camera, right? Because I'm selfish in that way. I'm very very selfish in that way because I like my own space. It's not about being introverted, Sigma. No, I just like my own space. Some people like their own space. They don't want to be bothered. Like right now, right here, there's a studio right here inside the gym, the compound. Of course, if you guys want to come to the compound, hey, give me some credit for that. Just tell that Andy Amador, aka the handsome fella, recommended this gym for you guys because I might get like some recognition here, right? I don't know, maybe, but don't forget about your boy, bro. Come on. But yeah, this gym is awesome, bro. It's the best gym right now that I could find because I used to go to EOS. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good gym, EOS, right here in Sports Arena, but it's very crowded, bro. Ever since 2023 hit, in New Year's resolution, the people from New Year's resolution started like showing up. I'm like, damn, they actually stayed. I actually got surprised, dude. I'm like, no fucking way. They actually stayed. And I'm like, well, okay, because I started doing this thing, right? I started recording, I started like doing the angles, right? Some need some space, I can't really be doing this and like, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, which gym can I go and try out? One, I'm not going to Planet Fitness. I'm not going to Anytime Fitness. I'm not going to a Crunch Fitness. So I'm like, okay, let me see what kind of cool gyms, like aesthetic looking gyms there in like San Diego, why, or where I live. And come to realize that there was a gym called the Compound Lifting Club, 6-7 minutes away from EOS, right? I'm like, oh fuck, perfect. I don't care if it's like $100 a month. It's a really good gym. Honestly, you guys should come check it out once in a while. They got lighting rooms. They got like the whole studio of bikes here. They got powerlifting tools. They got bodybuilding machines. They got everything you need. Cardio machines, the stretching area. The bathrooms are really nice. I like them. I've never taken a shower there, but I'm probably gonna move here probably. Just live outside. Hey, I mean, some sacrifices, right? But no, right here is a really good gym. I don't have no hard feelings on the other one. Really good gym as well, but it's just too big. It's too crowded. You can't really. You have to wait for the machines, right? Like 10, 20 minutes. And you guys know, right? When they say I got like 3 sets left, that means like I got 20 more minutes, dude. So back off. And I'm like, okay, bro, you do you, bro. And since I'm very picky with the machines I like, we all have that routine that we hit this machine here for 3 sets, and then we go there, and then we go bam, 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 bam. And then you do your cardio right there, right? You do your cardio while walking in the gym, trying to look for your machine. But yeah, man, right here, I'm in the studio. There's no one here to bother me. I have like a mirror looking at me, looking at the phone. You know what? I think I would have more inspiration if they had maybe everything like on the sides mirrors, so you can see yourself. If you're fat like me, you see yourself, and then you get motivated again. Just start pushing if that's your goal, right? Doing cardio. That will probably motivate you even more. You look from the side over here, like, oh no, I'm fat. And then you look from the other side, oh no, I'm fat. And then you go a little harder, harder, harder. But that's just my thing, I might be crazy. I might be a psychopath, but just me, bro. Just vibing. Just trying to be someone in life, whatever it takes. But yeah, right here, it's been like 20 minutes. I haven't seen someone barged in. And literally, like, I have not seen anyone barged in or like just walked in, looked at me, walked out. Because, some people don't like to, right here, most of them are very respectful, and I'm surprised because over there at EOS, you got the special people, right? You got the people that don't like to share the equipment, and that's fine, It's like me, sometimes I don't want to be bothered. I get it, You do you, brother. But yeah, man, right here it's really good. Right now I'm just having, the best time of my life, doing some cardio, doing this thing, I might upload it right now after this to the YouTube, of course. But yeah, if you guys are trying to lose weight, check out my channel. If not, go check out my other channel. It's somewhere linked on the handsome fella, You guys don't ask me why I put the handle right there. Don't ask me. But yeah, dude. Right now I'm just probably gonna finish up with the cardio. It's like 22 minutes and a half. And yeah, dude. I would recommend though, before you click off the video, I would recommend that if you're trying to lose weight, I would say from my experience to prioritize more of the weights, not do a lot of cardio. And if you want to do cardio like steady state, really slow cardio like this, like, well, not like grandma cardio, but like, just moderate like this, right? Moderate. Not like this, right? Not like this. Killing yourself, of course, because that's how you might lose muscle, who knows? Depends on the genetics. But if you just do steady state cardio, right, you might start losing weight even faster, right? I don't recommend it, don't take my word for it. You have to experience it. If you're fat and you want to get fucking jacked, I would recommend to start just prioritizing, dude. Prioritize the heavy weight. Trust me. Fix your diet. Don't talk about my diet, it's all over the place. But fix your diet. Pick heavy things up. Have patience. Do a little bit of cardio, of course. And just wait for the results, bro. That's how all of us fat people do, A lot of us who are fat make mistakes, right? We try to avoid them. It's really hard sometimes because you don't know what to do. You think you know everything, right? People like me think they know everything, but you gotta really believe that you're a beginner at everything in life. You're a beginner, and I'm a beginner at everything, right? I ask somebody for like how to build your chest, right? How to get the right proportions or like the shape or like how do you shape this and that, and they tell me, the usual, right, bench press and this, but there are certainly people that get the question, right? They get it. They want to know why you do everything aside from the conventional lifting or the primordial lifting compound lifts, right? Damn, I talk too much, huh? It's okay. You guys get used to it. But yeah, I would say if you get anything out of this video, if you're struggling with losing weight or anything like that, watch my videos. I have some videos here and there about losing weight. I'm going to try to make more. But of course, don't take my word for granted. Please do your research. Please double check everything. Of course, I'm only correct 95% of the times. Not like Coach Greg to say, he has like a master's degree and everything. He has like 98% correct accuracy. I have 95%, and I'm 20. So I don't have as much experience, right? I don't have like 30 years of experience. But that guy is like, I look up to him, because that's actually the guy that started like pretty much teaching me how to lose weight. Because when I got really, really skinny fat, in quotation marks, I started listening to that guy, right? And I'm like, dude, I mean, I don't know about the gym, right? Because I didn't know. I actually thought and listen, bro, I know your parents, they love you, they want the best for you, but trust me, dude, they don't know sometimes about certain topics. They don't know. If even for business, dude, if they tell you to do this and this and that, they might be wrong, dude. Do your research because they're not right most of the time. I listened to my mother, right? She thought lifting weights will make you like bulkier and like big, and I actually thought that, right? Even though I was a guy, a male, I was born male, yeah, believe it or not, I actually thought I was gonna get bulkier because I took her advice, and then we went to a protein shop or like a supplement shop, and then the supplement guy right there, his name was Rafael, I think Alvarez. Yeah, damn, bro, my memory's on fire right now. But yeah, I think he works at the Pro Body Warehouse. I think that's what it's called. And then I started like talking to him, right? Because back then, funny story, I was actually eating my 1,500 calorie diet while I was going in the gym. While I was starting the gym, right? It was around actually almost 2 months ago. No, 2 months ago. 2 years ago. I started hitting the gym like around May, almost June. I remember it was June 10 when I actually like recorded like my first ever like lifting set, not recorded, but like just took notes on my notepad, or the notes app. But yeah, dude, he asked me like what's your goal, right? What do you want to do? I told him I want to build muscle, right? Duh, right? And then he asked me, right, like, okay, so are you eating like a lot? Because believe it or not, back then I used to have like, the same face complexion, and I'm surprised because right now I'm eating like a lot of things, and I know I'm like a little bulkier. Like on the side right here, you can see like the chunk of like meat or fat. You can see the chunk right here, right on the legs here, right here. I'm not that lean, believe it or not. It's just like the genetics on my face, They're not the greatest, but I don't have chubby cheeks. Sometimes, when I hold water, of course, duh. I'm not that dehydrated. I'm not like 5% body fat, but I mean, I was a little bit like that, a little more sunken cheeks. And then he asked me, right, the million, sorry, the $1 million question. He asked me, how much are you eating right now? How much are you tracking? And I legit told him, I'm eating 1,500 calories a day, doing hella cardio. He looked at me like, dead ass. He looked at me like, dude, like, no. And I told him, right, like, oh, what can I do to not lose muscle, right? He's like, oh, buy this BCAAs, right? And I bought the BCAAs, right, not knowing what, you don't need them, bro. It's just for taste. And it's just pretty good, it was fruit punch. Fruit punch flavor, right? And so that's what I started doing, obviously, right? But, yeah, at the end of the day, dude, just do your stuff. Don't worry about what other people think. And I'm out of here.